Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to do a quick revisiting in 2021 about this AtGames Sega Mega Drive. This is more like the Mega Drive Mini back in the day from AtGames. The weird thing about it, like the first edition they created was pretty damn horrible. But the second one, a lot of people didn't even know it existed. And the reason why they didn't even know is because this device was only sold in a couple of stores. Back in the day, we found it on the Lidl store, but they are not selling it anymore. And that's just a big bummer because a lot of people in the US were interested in it. And there were a couple of reasons why. Not only the emulation was very good, it has like a fancy menu, all the issues like the previous one has been fixed, and it comes with 82 built-in games, and the game library on this device was even not that bad. So in overall, good games, a lot of great games. The Sega Mini was announced but wasn't released yet. And it was such a weird situation, like having this AtGames Model 2, but also having like the Mini coming from, let's say, official Sega company. It's kind of messy if you ask me. But the reason I want to do a quick revisiting of the 2021 is just simply because this thing was pretty cool. And if you can find it, and it's very hard to spot because there are so many differences. So like the controllers are exactly or almost the same. There are some minor differences, but in overall, like I do like them. Like the wireless edition, the wireless functionality was good. They also come with an on and off switch, and yeah, they're still working on batteries. Like the first edition didn't have like a battery cover, and the second one did have. But overall, like it comes with a 5-volt power supply with micro USB. It came with an HDMI cable, all the basic stuff, and of course a very nice manual. Not the toilet paper stuff that we're going to get with most of these Chinese products. When you're looking at the first model and this second model, finding the second model is going to be very challenging because we're having an on and off switch, menu buttons, the volume knob that doesn't work or doesn't have any function, just more like an optical thing. We're having two ports in the front, so there are not like major differences between the first and the second model. Also, both of them HDMI, so far I know micro 5-volt connection for powering on. Both can play original games, so here we don't find a lot of differences. But the new model does have an SD function built in, and it's quite interesting. The built-in games are all slightly different, but also here we're going to find some differences like with different regions. I think it was a German that didn't have the Mortal Kombat games installed. None of them have Sonic 3. I think it was because of some sound copyright issues that they're going to use the game. A little bit of a bummer because it's my favorite one. The menu interface of the second model has been improved in many different ways, like navigating is not that weird, like pressing A and B going to the next or next topic page. It's kind of messy with the first one, but they also fixed it with the second. Still, the second one got a lot of crappy games, so that was a little bit of a bummer in my opinion. You could change out the background, so in overall there were a lot of different things that changed out and improved. So the emulation of this version was, in my opinion, spot on. We had some functionalities like rewind, some other weird thing like AtGames already did back in the day. And not to forget, we're having a quick load and quick save with 5 slots for each games. In my opinion, that's pretty cool. And overall, having the 4:3 aspect ratio with side banners, or side banners basically like the background you're seeing. You don't have like these bezels, you're having like written RetroPie. Fun fact is that nowadays with AtGames products like the arcade machine does have bezels. But sadly we couldn't do this with the Sega Mega Drive Mini AtGames edition number 2. And there is no development so far I know, so this is what you're going to get. You could play like Game Gear games on it, that was pretty cool. So far I know there were a couple of them included, like this Sonic racing game, so if you grew up with these, it's pretty cool to revisit them and play them on this mini machine. So even this thing is obscure, there were not a lot sold in the world, but there was a community behind it that basically cracked this thing open. We had the option to play Sega 32 games, but also to play Sega CD games. And that was quite interesting with this machine. I think it was a surprise and also a pretty cool addition to the Sega Mega Drive 2 Mini from AtGames back in the day, that we had the option to add our own games, but also you can basically upgrade the system. The only thing I did know that you need to choose between the Sega CD and also the Sega 32-bit, It was a little bit of a mixed bag in my opinion, that you couldn't have everything on the system. But overall, it was a fun thing to do. They can add your original games to this machine and play them very easily this way. But maybe the only downside this device has when you're adding your games is that you're not going to get a fancy menu in combination with the nice decals. You're just going to get yourself files like these. And if you don't name them right, you couldn't see them or use them. So it's more like a mixed bag, and it's not a lot of improvement if you ask me. So the SD function was good, but it is flawed and even up to date, because as far as I know, there are not really updates with this. But besides playing all of your physical games, if you have like the file for your virtual racing, you could play the game on your Sega Mini AtGames too. A game that had so many issues with a lot of these clone systems, but didn't have any problem with the Sega AtGames Mini 2. The reason why I want to do this revisiting is quite simple. I think this thing is just a freaking hidden gem. If you manage to find it on eBay or somewhere and you like Sega, I think it's a pretty cool collectible, but you can also play some games on it. It's such a bummer that they never got the chance to release this device and put it on the market. Or better said, just release this good product the first place, because I think they wouldn't get burned that much. Yeah, it's flawed, there are some problems with it, but overall you could fix a lot of things, especially when it comes to the SD function. You can play original games without a hassle, you don't have a lot of glitches and problems, and it was a really fun experience playing your original games on your Sega Mini. Of course, we have the original one, but the original one couldn't play original games. That was a little bit of a bummer in my opinion. So when you want to play original games, you can get yourself a Sega from HDMI from China, or another one like that can play games. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become on the Wicked family, and it would be great to have you here. If you have any questions, you can always drop it in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.